Hello and welcome to next episode of DuLaBoo for contributors and authors. This is season 3, episode J. I'll be talking about what I discussed a little bit Evernote, which is our company's database, and I also discussed daily report email. What I try to repeat here again is that our core business is not the daily report email or logging data into Evernote. So please don't spend too much time by preparing your daily reports. State it 2 minutes or shorter if you can, and use the Evernote database as a quick, dirty, according to the motto, quick and dirty, putting some information into database on the fly. That's a better word for it. Today, I'd like to talk about something what is our core business, what is very important, what is sometimes complicated. A lot of people nowadays write article, but to write an article in the right way, there's needed a lot of research and knowledge, passion about to write something, and nowadays, if you want to publish something on internet, we need to design our article, we need to include photos, and we need to publish it. So it's an entire process to article publishing. It's not only the creative writing side. The creative writing side is very important. That's why you should really practice this part. But in this episode, I'm not going to talk about writing. I assume you know how to write, how to research. Then at this episode, I'll show you a few technical steps how to incorporate your written article into WordPress. And as I said, is for DuLaBoo, collaborators, and writers. The program, and once I've got my article written, here's for example lorem ipsum example. Once I'm happy with the text and I know it's good text, I simply select it, copy it, and then go to my WordPress. You should have received the login details, and you go to add new article. Now, once you I'm sorry, my internet is a little slow, be patient with me. Once you get to this where you can add new post, I suggest you do the following things. The first one is you collapse the menu. You don't need it, so you have more space on your screen. Then you go to screen options if you haven't done so already, and reduce the number of columns to 1. So basically there are 2 columns to the text, and I paste it into my post. That's what I do. These are only suggestions. If you find better way of doing this, please feel free to experiment to do something else. Now, as you can see, first, I don't have the article number and name, so it's a good idea to say, okay, DuLaBoo season X or whatever number. You take it number and episode J, and then the title lorem ipsum test. Okay, once we've done that, you see basically if you want to do something, if you want to work with the article, it's really small. So some few people ask me how can we increase the size here. Well, different ways of doing that. The first one is you simply use the full screen. If you press here, your entire browser your entire browser become your editor, And then if this is still too small for you, because the size didn't change, you can increase the size of your browser window. Usually under Safari is under View, and you zoom in or you zoom out. Here, for example, I zoom in, as you can see, and this is the same principle as zooming in and out your page. So with Control minus and Control plus, or if you're in Internet Explorer, it must be another shortcut. You can make it smaller and bigger. Everything increases here. So not only the text, you can see that the picture, everything increases, and that's exactly the same here. Let me just get out of the full screen, and if I start here decreasing the size, you see that everything decreases, and I start increasing the size, you see that everything increases. So you make it to your size, whatever is more comfortable for you, and then you work and you make it either smaller or bigger. So that's the tip about the article. Now you can check your word count here, how many words you've got there. We suggest here between 450 words and 1,000 words. We talked about that already. And as you can see, it's too short. I need to add something to that to have a full-length article. Now, please make sure, especially for beginners, that you're in visual. You're not in the text. Text is basically the HTML text. If you understand a little bit from HTML programming, you see that there are special characters, and you don't see the visual effect of it. You just see the HTML characters. So make sure that you're in visual. You paste it in the visual, and then if you want to change something, of course, you can select it. You can make it italic. It just takes a little bit because, like I said, my internet connection is very slow, and we're in a browser here. Everything is online. So like I said, my tip here would be, don't write your article there, because it could be sometimes frustrating. Write it in your preferred text editor. Once you finish the text part, copy and paste it into WordPress, and then format that. You can, for example, select that and change it to headings. You should have learned something about headings now from the old WordPress manuals. Oh, that's a little bit big. You make it a little bit smaller if you like. You choose the heading 2 or decrease the size, and you've got your article there. So, as I stated before, a very important part of the article creation is pictures. You can input pictures here in your article by selecting where we like to input that and click a button here which is not there. Well, I know it sounds really fun and complicated, but we are in contributor mode. It means a contributor can only contribute text and cannot upload any pictures. That's the problem. And a contributor can save draft, which I advise that every so often you save it manually. Here, clicking on save draft, and after you think you finished, you submit this for a review. Submit this article for review to the editor. Now, for people which work full-time with us, we give them an access to author rights, where they can publish as well, and where they upload photos themselves. So they don't need to wait for editor to do it for them. Usually it happens after your first 5 or 10 successful articles. We know you can do that. First of all, the text is nicely written. Secondary, the pictures are included. There are a few small things like, for example, the categories, which need to be selected, tags, and eventually a few other things. Like I said, don't be frustrated at the beginning. You've got only contributor rights. You can put only text, put it in a form, play a little bit of text. You cannot break anything, and then at any given time you just click here on preview. A new window will open here in your tab and will show you basically how your article would eventually look on the website once it's published. So you see probably the headlines too are also a little bit too big. Probably we should have chosen something smaller. So it gives you a good idea basically how your article will appear if you press on the preview. And like I said, once you finish and you think, okay, it's acceptable, you submit the article for review. For the first 5 or 10 episodes, until we know that you can run on yourself, you can publish your articles yourself, I would suggest that you forward through Dropbox the photos you would like to use for the article. Then an editor can come in here and include those photos. And also you should select one photo which is called a cover or something like that, where you will upload this photo here and featured image. It's very important, it's very visually important, and we insist that everybody is using basic featured photo of some kind. There's a separate manual for the sort, so please free to consult the other manual and see the tips and go through the tips in this manual. I see basically that we're arriving that this presentation is a little bit long, so I'm not sure if I will prepare a second part should you have any questions to this, or we basically close it here. I still got a few minutes. I don't want to keep it too long, as I said, it's a little bit improvised. So for the first 5 or 10 episodes, please ask your line manager, or called relevant season episode so and so, put the photos there, share it with the person, and basically taking from Dropbox, we take the photo, input in this, then you can have a look at this again, see if it is to your liking, and then submit for review. So like I said, this is going to be only for very short period. You will be very quickly given a writer rights where you can upload your own photos, where you can create categories. At the moment you need to ask us basically if you're starting a new episode like season 6, 7, 8, those basically are not here. You need to ask your line manager to create those categories, but like I said, within a very short time you get full rights and you can even publish your own articles. Tags are very important. Tag them to your liking. Again, don't use more than 4 tags. Please don't change anything here. Usually what we do is we go to screen options and we disable those features where we say, okay, you don't need to change anything. For example, you don't need that one for the beginning, you don't need that one for the beginning. And if you go back, you see that basically they disappeared there below, so you don't need to think about those. Even at the moment you don't need Canvas customer settings. You could disable for the moment. Later on we'll be using the layout and the image and the embedded code section, but not now. What's important for you, and I summarize that, preferably write your text in an external editor. Once it's finished, open add new posts, add a title, put the post in there. For the first 10 episodes, ask to input pictures, ask your line manager to input those pictures, supply those pictures in Dropbox to him or her, select your categories or ask your line manager to create the categories, tag it, see if this set feature image is there, submit for review, and basically this is it. Should you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask me. If there are any contradictions in my presentation, please tell me as well. And if not, well, I talk to you later. Thank you and bye bye.